My name's Preston. I used to be in a band what was called The Ordinary Boys, and I'm just about to embark on a solo career.
Why did you leave The Ordinary Boys? What happened?
I never wanted to leave, really, but so our guitarist really wanted to go to university, and he was even younger than me, so he was barely in his 20s, so it wasn't too late, and he was just like, in fact, he just always wanted to be a journalist, so maybe he'll interview me. That would be funny. So, and I think we were just like, with The Ordinary Boys, we were in a position where we kind of, so I made quite a lot of sort of outrageous sort of decisions and stuff, and it was kind of all sort of messed everything up a little bit maybe, but we seem to have gotten away with it. And we were in this position where our last 4 singles had gone top 10, and we were just like, look, we've got away with this. We're a success. He was just like, if we leave this now and duck out, then this whole venture has been a success. And we were just like, all right, well, let's just do that then. And kind of, I probably would have done it. I would have carried on. I have a soft spot for that band.
Well, you did say, perhaps it was some of the decisions you made. Obviously, Celebrity Big Brother is what brought you to a wider audience, not just the music fans. Do you have any regrets about doing that?
I've been asked this question recently, and I was thinking about it, and I definitely don't regret any decisions that I've made. The thing I do regret, and I really do regret, is just how I handled myself. I think I definitely had an interview technique that was presenting myself as this sulky kind of indie sort of moody kind of rocker or whatever. And I don't know why I would do that. I fucking hate those sorts of people. I don't know why I would try.
You didn't come across like that.
I don't know. I feel like I've been. We're gonna have this wasp joining us for the whole interview. That I know. I get a lot of sometimes when I get stuff quoted back to me of things I've said, I'm just like, oh, you idiot! What made you say that? So I think, I try. I don't have regrets because I'm here now, and everything's great.
You sampled Susie and the Banshees' Happy House in the single. Do they approve?
Yeah, she went on my website and she wrote me a little note. I was just like, ah.
Yeah, she is still one of the coolest people
awesome,
in the world.
Yeah. You know what? This is probably an uncool thing to say. It definitely is. But I was like, I want to use a sample. I feel like it would be a good way to get people to recognise the song. It's my first single. I want people, I have to get people to respond to it, or else it's not going to get on the radio. Because, people, I'm very aware that people aren't sitting at home twiddling their thumbs waiting for the next Preston, musical venture. So I was like, I'm going to have to really get people's attention. And I want it to be cool, and so I was just like, "What's cool?" Susie and the Banshees. It's like that sound is just cool. Whatever. It's just like that kind of magic essence of cool.
But it's untapped as well. Nobody's been there.
Yeah. Well, I have no idea why. I think it seems like a no-brainer. So, and so I just thought I'll put that sample in, and then I just sort of had that singing line, and it was like. I think lyrically I was definitely thinking of Susie Sue when I was kind of writing. There's, as much as I kind of maybe unconsciously try to kind of sway my unconscious into not having too much Ordinary Boys stuff in there. There's definitely a couple of ska tracks, be they very electronic ska tracks, but it's just it's funny because when I was making the album and I was, what music I was listening to, and I was listening to a lot of Japanese electro, I really like Capsule, and there's a band called Perfume who are really good. And then still Plastic Squeeze Box and Polysix that I liked already. And so I was listening to a lot of very bleepy, accident music. And then also I was listening to a lot of ragga, which I got really into lately. I love Vibes, Cartel. And then now that Major Lazer record's come out, and I feel like now I probably could have gotten away with having a bit more of the ragga influence, but I did try and suppress that because no one wants to see a kind of skinny white boy doing ragga. It's just not. It's not on. It's not acceptable. So but all of that influence is still there, and there's some like, because obviously I'd gone through a f***ing divorce, so I was crushed for a lot of it, and like still feeling really upset about it, and like I think people like don't expect me to have been like affected that badly by it just because it was in the papers or whatever, but it sucked. It was horrible. So there's definitely like a couple of really like kind of feel sorry for myself ballads in there, but musically they're like really kind of like sound like The Knife or something like that. Like it's very like really kind of dramatic and moody, and that really worked. I think probably that the reason that worked is because at the time of that, there was some of the earlier songs I did, and I was like still really bummed out and everything.
Well, obviously, because you brought up, where are you at with Chantelle? Do you still speak to her?
We speak a lot now. Obviously, I was really angry at her because she essentially just slagged me off to the press, and I always think I was just such a good husband. Like I thought I was amazing, and but she just fell in with like a bad crowd in terms of the people around her. Like she surrounded herself with just like bullies and people that would just like say like, oh, definitely the best thing to do is just like be really horrible about Preston. And she's like, but now she's like really upset that she ever did that and like kind of apologized for it, and I accepted her apology, and now we're moving on. So it's like,
that's really nice to hear.
Yeah, it's nice to I just don't want to be the sort of person that like splits up with someone and then like can't be grown up about it.
Negative energy is
negative what about
anyone, is it?
Andre and Katie Price? They're just being they're like little school kids, like gossiping about each other in the papers.
Their kids
and it's like,
are gonna read that
listen,
one,
it's like you've had kids together, you were married, be grown up about it. Like when me and Chantelle split up, it wasn't like a plate smashing, a row thing. It was like one of the most, what is much worse, which is one of those kind of grown up, absolutely heartbreakingly depressing chats, which is just like, look, this isn't working. I think we're gonna have to.
Don't, you'll make me think that instead. Yes.
And that is so much worse. And it's, if it was a case of like, yeah, you're a bloody bitch, I hate you, fuck off, then that would be, that's fair enough for what it is. But I mean, the most heartbreaking thing you can do is just like, it's just like, it didn't work. We're just gonna have to cut our losses and like, wish it could have worked and wish it could have been different. And then it's just like, that's just gut-wrenchingly awful.